a new abstract artist in town, a gentleman from the Czech Republic who's travelled all throughout Asia. He's going to have an exhibition soon, and we're going to actually see his work. It's quite big, it's quite wow. Come with me, we'll just find out all about what he's doing. He also works at the Dusit as well. Oh, Jerry, how are you?
Hello.
Good to see you. In fact, we
Nice
normally
to have
see
you.
you at the Dusit.
Oh yes, this is where I spend most of my time, really.
Wow. In fact,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Welcome.
until I was told that you were an artist of note. And, you know, how do you spend your time? Both Director of Operations at the Dusit and as a contemporary artist or abstract artist.
Yes, well, it's about the balance. It's really balancing all the different interests in life.
It's interesting, you know, because many foreigners come to Thailand to live. They may have had some art exhibitions before, or maybe none. And when they get here, they're inspired by what Thailand has to offer. Interesting, I suppose, that Jerry has come here. He actually is an artist of note. He's actually been painting for many, many years. Actually, exhibitions all around the world, and now coming up to Thailand. So.
Yes.
You're a famous artist that we're going to see here for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is true. I mean, I have exhibited over the last 20 years in 15 different countries and so on. The Art Biennale in Florence just end of last year. And I came to Thailand actually the first time in 1980. And a funny story, actually, I just talked about it yesterday. When I was here, I walked through Silom and I saw the Dusitani, and that was the castle for me. I already was in the industry, so that was a huge memory for me, and Bangkok. Since then, we used to come back to Thailand. We never lived here. I spent about 16 years in Asia in all different parts. And I always saw Thailand as a very rich inspiration or source for inspiration artistically, culturally, and so on. And so here we are many, many years later, making a life and making a home. And my art is really, now I'm fortunate enough that I can have my first exhibition coming up end of this month.
How difficult is it to actually come into a market? You know, you have to firstly understand the abstract or the contemporary art market first, understand
yes.
where to go, who to go. I mean, you've been
Yes.
here just under a year.
Yes.
Seems quite quick actually to organise an exhibition.
Well, yes, it's really just, you know, when you have an interest, where there's a way, there's a will.
That's true.
Where there's a will, there's a way. So when we arrived, I naturally kind of, besides the cultural sides and those that one does, I also started going around in all different galleries and to understand where the city, the community is in terms of modern art. And I came across a nice gallery, fairly reputable in the city and in the country for many years. And I show my catalog, my work, and the gallerists are then to decide whether it is marketable, whether it fits into the likings and the tastes of the community. And then it's a question of space and
Yes.
commercial agreement.
The last thing is the commercial agreement, is
Yeah,
it?
it's always
Okay.
somewhere.
Let me talk about, this is one of your pieces.
Yes.
This was done 10 years ago. Where were you
Yes.
living at that time?
In Azerbaijan.
Okay, so how does a country influence your work? I mean, was there an influence of Azerbaijan in this particular painting?
Every country has influence on impressions. Since I'm an abstract expressionist, the concept really is that we absorb the influences of everyday life, the realities, the emotions, and the atmosphere, and then eventually interpret it. But
When did you start painting? I mean, was it from a young kid, or was you a family artist, or
yeah, my father was an artist back home
in Czech?
in Czech Republic. But when I was living in Germany and young and free and irresponsible, I guess. I actually came into the community of art and galleries and artists. So I spent a lot of time around artist studios and friends and so on. And then eventually, of course, you kind of develop a certain interest and urge. And
but you've never had lessons?
I never had lessons.
So it's a natural talent?
Yeah, it's a trial. It's you know, it's an evolution. I started off with Chinese and Japanese ink and aquarels, and then evolving into acrylic. But I always wanted to, I knew at that point, I always wanted to go into abstract and oils.
Right. What is it? What is the attraction with abstract? Is it that you can put yourself into it and then people can interpret what they want to see? Is that the excitement of it?
It is. It is an emotional balance, as Hans Hofmann used to say, or as he said, it is abstract art is really control of emotions in the process of creation, and that is pretty much what it is. We express an emotional instance, and that interpretation in visual form. Obviously, if I say this is called hideaway, there is a certain concept behind, but if you as the observer were to sort of analyze it further, what it says to you, actually this is an influence, it's called Awaken Hope.
Okay.
And it relates to a koan in the Taoism. I read up Tao and Zenism, and I pick up certain sort of koans and verses, and then I interpret them into visual.
Interesting, huh?
Green in Chinese means hope.
You're talking about this upcoming exhibition that's being held in Saturn
Soi 12
Right.
in the Age Gallery.
Right. How many pieces are we going to see on display?
10 to 12.
Are they all such an enormous size as the ones we're seeing here today?
They
go
are.
big.
They are all of about 150, 180 meters.
And that is the size that you're very comfortable in, or is that the size that the market like when they purchase?
Well, if it was up to me, I would only do very large ones, because abstract is about size and volume.
That's right, to get the depth and the emotion into it.
Yes. So 1.5, 2 meters is about what the market can also deal with.
You have a studio that's not in the home. Does that mean that your wife doesn't want you to have it in the home, or does that mean you need to get away completely and be completely by yourself when you're...
Yes, well, it's not about my wife not wanting or me not wanting, it's about the mess. And then the second part, of course, it creates a sort of enclave where I can retrieve and be within the art and the process itself.
And you have to be completely alone.
Yes. It's a process that really sort of, absorbs your thoughts and so on. So you can't paint and do what you want to do and then have a discussion and a tea with a couple of colleagues.
But what I find interesting is I come into your home, you've got 2 pieces in your home that are very, very, they're abstract, they're yours. But the rest is in a way, and there's some Thai art, which is very nice. But then you've got really some ancient art.
Yeah,
you like to have a blend of the two.
Well, it's an eclectic collection. I mean,
wherever you go, you've got to have things with you. I know we're going to have Jerry back because we're going to actually have a look at his art, and he's going to talk about his impression of Thai artists too. So you see, when you come here, you can continue whatever hobbies you have, as he has done, and show us in Thailand what is on offer. Jerry, thank you very much.
Thank you. Very nice. Thank you.